Okay, I'm big good.
Hey y'all, and welcome back. You are officially in the Diva Den. I know it's been some time. It's been a very, very long time. But we're back.
Yay.
And I know people were asking, like, what's going on in the Divas Den? Blah, blah, blah. It took some time. For lack of better words. That's all I can say. It took some time.
And look, great things. You wait for great things.
Yes. So as you can see, to my left, your right, I have a new co-host. She is no stranger to the show. If you guys have been a part of TDS, which I hope you are,
y'all know me.
You know exactly who this is. This is our sexy educator, Tyranikia the Chappelle.
I just love how you just say it. It's roll off your tongue.
Right.
You just do it so good.
I got you.
I promise to be good. I'm be good. Let me sit in.
I had to bring the homie along because so many of you guys have said that you just love our chemistry, the fact that we laugh at each other, we have good content. So I thought it would be amazing to bring her aboard in the Divas Den. Do not worry, Precious is still very much a part of the community. She's a part of an in Divas Den. She's around. She's doing her thing. She's doing big things. So make sure you guys go and shout her out. We might even bring her on.
Oh,
just reunited
and it feels so good.
We may do that at some point, but before we get started into the show, because we got a lot to get to.
Oh, girl, I saw what's been happening.
There's a lot to get to. First and foremost, we got to do our check-in. So friend, how's your spirit this week?
You know what? It's I'm feeling much better. I'll say that. It was a busy week, but it wasn't too bad. I would say just more it's just a lot of business in a week. Yeah. So I'm actually feeling much better. First of all, it is Saturday. I don't have nothing to do besides hang with you. And I love it.
Right.
I love it.
That's right.
You made me laugh.
Yeah, it's good company. I can do this.
Not on Monday. Shit.
Yeah. That's when I turn into corporate bitch.
Listen. Looking like, damn, what you call them from Miss Hilda? Miss
Yeah. We gotta put a camera in because Kayla is still the producer. That's the homie. She's still rocking it out. But she always has a Matilda reference.
Yes. Kayla, we're here.
We'll work on that.
Yeah, anyway. Like I said, that week was good. Like I said, it's a lot of business with the week, but it wasn't bad. It was just a busy week. Definitely feeling much better now. Like I said, Saturday I get to take and relax. I get to reset, and that's very important.
So important.
Yeah, so I have that moment to reset. Got some fun stuff planned for the weekend.
Okay, good.
So yeah. Actually, it was really good. How about yourself? How?
It has been a week.
Okay.
And we'll talk about it later because we are going to talk about, Black women in corporate America, which is a very, very exhausting, topic. But I'm learning how to keep my nervous system regulated.
Okay. I like that. That's actually something I think we need to say more of.
Yes.
There's a difference from just doing so many things and then regulating.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Yes, because I know we're always in, fight or flight mode. And the one thing I will say that I think was a really good investment that I made is this ring. If you guys are paying attention to it, it's the Aura ring. And hopefully they pay me for this. But
coinage.
Free advertisement.
Hello.
But this has made me stop and pay attention to my vitals so much more than what I thought. Like it will alert me and say, like, you're stressed. We need you to breathe.
Nice.
And bring it down. And it will tell you at what point in your day where you have found the most stress.
Nice.
So now that I can identify stressors and try to make the necessary adjustments.
See, I like that because it also puts you in a place where you're now present with your health and your well-being.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like
so, I am working on that.
Come on here.
I am working on that because if you guys pay attention to the Wellness Collective, a part of TDS Radio with Varna Spencer, Dr. Jan Taylor, and James Perkins, they had a phenomenal show about heart health and how, as Black women, we really need to pay attention to the signs of what's happening with our body because what we think is normal isn't, and what we think may be just something small is actually signs of a heart attack. So I'm like, especially the age that I am, I'm really being cautious of what my stressors are. So
I love that.
like I said, it was a tough week, but I'm here. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad Kayla's here. My girls are here. My community is here. We're doing In the Divas In, so I'm super excited.
It's a great thing.
So shall we get into?
Come on, girls, do this thing.
Let's get into our current events, and I have to get your opinion on this because you are a frequent flyer. My girl be flued out. Shout out to Boo. Hey, Teddy Graham. My girl be flued out. Thank God Apple has locations. Yes. Because I be like, where is she at now? Carmen said,
that's why you don't have friends. Because all your damn business.
Because I got to make sure you're safe.
You know what? That's fair. Okay, I appreciate it. I know, because let me go. My little feet be hot. Okay.
Once I just knew you was out. I was like, bitch,
girl, I'm going. Like, bitch, where you left? Oh, girl, yesterday. I forgot to say it.
I love this for you.
I know.
I love this for you. But have you heard about Tampa International?
First of all, you about Tampa, Florida?
Oh, yes.
I despise Florida.
Yes, that's what
I hate Florida. Friend, I hate Florida. You know I do. Especially flying. Oh my God, every single airport is the worst. What have they done now?
Okay. So brace yourself.
No, I'm mad already. I ain't even heard shit.
I feel like there's a lot of heat coming over here.
Yes, bitch, flaming. Poof.
So, just a couple days ago, like 2 days.
Damn, like, y'all, can y'all give us a break?
Tampa International released a statement where they were saying no pajamas are allowed in their airport. They said enough is enough. They don't want to see it. They already put a ban on Crocs and
I'm sorry, what?
And essentially alluding to the fact that people need to step it up when they're in the airport because they don't want to see it. Now, mind you, they then, because they got so much backlash on social media, that they decided to renege and say it was a joke.
What the Trump?
Right. So you know my thing. Anybody who knows me knows that I always say there's truth in every joke. Okay? Right. So you did this because you thought it would probably be funny and you thought that this was going to be well received and it was not. So, so now there's this back and forth of, like, well, is this something where we need to be mindful of proper, etiquette in the way that we dress when we go to the airport? Or do people need to mind their business? What do you think?
Okay, first and foremost, I feel like this conversation happens every couple years or so. If it's not some celebrity hooping and hollering about what they thought they think people should dress like, then you have people in different industries saying the same thing. So here's my thing. First and foremost, you want me to pay $1 million for a seat on a plane, and then you're gonna tell me how to dress on said plane?
Yes,
you can kiss my ass. Okay?
The whole ass.
Okay, got it. Top to bottom, even the curve. Yes, all of it. All of it.
Where the sun don't shine.
Get in there. Yeah. Cause of what?
Yes.
No. So here's my thing. If you want to allude to this certain type of customer, because that's what it sounds like, and I don't like that because it also puts in space too where you're trying to delegate how people should and shouldn't be.
Absolutely.
And that's problematic.
Absolutely.
You're not going to beg me for my money.
Hello.
And then tell me how I should come represented. Because if I'm not representing you, I'm representing me.
Hello.
If I come in my damn SpongeBob pajamas, that's between me and the Lord. Ain't nothing to do with you.
And that's what
if you don't like it, then I don't know.
Do something.
Yes, but not this. But not this.
Anything with your time.
Yes.
That's what frustrates me most about this topic, where we're policing people's bodies, we're policing what they choose to do and how they want to show up. First of all, you don't know what anybody's going through when you're in an airport.
That part. I could be going to a funeral, a family emergency. And secondly, first of all, not even just that's on the extreme end of the spectrum. Let's go to the other end. I got 4 kids.
Hello.
Do you know how much it might take to get somebody to get their child just to the car?
Yes.
You want me to argue with them about getting on a 5 a.m. flight?
5 a.m., which means I got to be there around 3.
That part. So now I got to argue with all these damn children on putting on, just wash their probably face. Just wash their face. They want to argue, put their clothes on. No, you, SpongeBob, and Patrick, get your ass in the car. We going. I don't care.
I know that's right.
I don't care.
I know that's right.
Because you barely can get a refund.
Right.
all the stuff that go through with the fact of actually going through TSA.
Yes.
So like, no, like I want to be comfortable, and whatever comfortable looks like for that person has nothing to do with anybody else. No, you don't have right to police what people wear, what they do, what they say. Like y'all don't police these goddamn TSA agents like acting a fool. Let's start there.
Hello.
Listen.
So, needless to say, Tampa, even though it was a joke, it wasn't funny.
It
didn't land well. I don't think it was a joke.
They just try to save it. That's all.
They weren't prepared for the backlash, because the thing is, who is it? The U.S. Oh my gosh, Secretary of Transportation, U.S. whatever. Duffy is his last name, but he essentially was saying that he agreed with the message, and he wants for people to actually start showing up in a more professional manner.
Who are y'all trying to impress?
Have too much time on your hands.
That part. Go to your job we pay you to do. How about that there? Do that.
You have way too much time on your hands to police how people decide to walk around in the airport. Do you know that when I'm on my flight, the last thing I'm worried about is how other people look? I'm just like, where's my gate? Is my flight going to be on time?
Please.
Will I be seated next to somebody who I don't want to be seated next to regarding like smell or just wants to talk?
Oh my God. Excuse me. Like, no, not excuse me.
I want to be
somebody.
Like,
yes.
I just want to get to my destination. Will my bag be there? Like, there's so many other things that are going on through my head outside of, why is this person in pajamas? I don't give a damn.
And I really didn't care what y'all look like. I wanted to make sure I was okay, because I came out for me. That's all. Look back to my point. Who are you all looking to impress? Like, who do you want them to make sure Americans look good for?
Yeah, and
because I just don't understand
a certain type of person. Because you ain't got no problem taking their money. But then it's like, well, I don't like how you're showing up.
But even with that being said, why do you care? That's like somebody going in Walmart and they damn buying it. Why do you care? You still getting the money. Nobody's bothered. I'm in it. We're not in the airport for a long period of time.
That part.
Hopefully,
That
because
part.
things happen. Do understand. But I'm in the airport coming through TSA. I'm getting on my plane. I'm going where I'm going.
Hello?
I don't want to be here as much as you don't want me here.
Hello?
How about that?
So needless to say, Tampa International Airport, whoever's a part of your communications and social media and whoever agreed to this, because this is not a one person decision. It's multiple people. It wasn't funny. Shut the hell up.
That part.
I'm not even going to go on a full on rant. Shut the hell up. Speaking of shut the hell up.
Yes. I love a good segue. That's a good one. We're going to put it on a shirt. Shut the hell up.
Because I have been watching the current season of Love is Blind. Right?
Okay.
And there has been a lot of problematic men on the season.
Oh, God. Okay.
A lot of like manipulation, narcissism. Like there's this one guy on there, Chris, who has little man syndrome. And I'm not saying it's a slight, any other guy with height, but he is literally the definition
just this way
of little man syndrome, because he feels as though if I throw money at you, if I throw status at you, then you should want me, because I'm trying to overcompensate the fact that I'm a piece of shit. Because he is like, that the whole purpose of the experiment is for people to find their partner. They've now agreed and said that they're finding their partner and they're on the way to the altar, and you come in trying to intersect and insert yourself with one girl on here when you know that she's committed to somebody else. So you're
nasty.
You're a messy bitch.
That's nasty.
He's a messy bitch.
Yes, bitch ass. Chris.
And there was this whole thing where he was just trying to like essentially offer himself and throw himself at Brie, and it was uncomfortable to watch. And at some point you just wanted to just say, shut up. Because this is embarrassing. Which leads me to also ask the question, are we over reality TV and trying to find love through this medium?
Not for him. I'm gonna say yeah.
Okay.
I've been over this shit.
Okay, just checking.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so hear me out.
Okay.
I do understand the allure of reality TV. I really do. However, we are in a space now where I feel like it is blending too much into our reality.
That's fair. I can see that.
And especially when we're talking about love and dating, because even how I will say, from what I understand, these shows aren't necessarily structured in a way for longevity with relationships.
I can see
everything is just quick and what's good and what's going to keep people's attention. And we're navigating relationships, at least again, from my point of view, we're navigating relationships from this way of thinking. And then we're wondering why things aren't lasting, or we're not in the people and all the other things that come along with it. Not saying these things are not true. However, but with these type of shows, how can you say that within a matter of weeks, you found your husband, you found your wife.
Yeah.
Where are the therapists on the show to talk about life and what that looks like when a thrill is gone?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Where's the counselors in there talking about blending families or talking about starting a family? Like, there's so much that goes into having a healthy relationship that we don't see on these shows.
That's true.
So I feel like people are over because now it's getting to a point where we're like, oh shit. One, people are getting older.
Mm-hmm.
So desires are changing.
Absolutely.
And reality is hitting like a motherfucker.
Ooh, is it?
So with that being said, how do you navigate what love looks like for someone who's in their 20s? I'm assuming people they're, casting in their early,
Oh, no, girl. They're like our age.
Oh, yeah. Lord. We are acting a fool? I'm embarrassed.
These people 33, 34, 37, 36. Yeah.
Y'all be in my toes, bitch.
Yeah.
I try.
Yeah.
Well, here we
there
are.
There are a couple that are in their late 20s.
Okay.
But there has been this shift to where more people in their 30s are being casted.
Which, you know what? And I can see that because we're watching the bulk of TV. I feel like a lot of people who are younger than us are typically on social media, watching YouTube and stuff like that. And I said we don't watch it, but we're into what's doing on the TV, right? But back to my point I'm trying to make is, yes, I feel like we're pushing away or it's dwindling away. I really feel that way because it's blending too much into reality and we're tired. We're tired of being lied to.
Yes.
We are tired of playing around.
Yes.
That's why we're in pajamas in Tampa because we're tired.
That is making you so mad.
Yes. Fucking Tampa.
Girl, I shouldn't even put that on the
Listen, and let me go back. Because not even the city, it's the damn airport. Yes, one more. Because I fucking hate all of Florida airports, all of them. Remember, I cursed that bitch out up there. Excuse my cussing, y'all. But you remember that damn lady, that damn badass wig. Ooh, messed up my bag. Now, here's the thing. If we're going to continue with these types of shows, then let's actually make it to where it's relatable.
Yes.
Like I said, we're talking about therapy. Bring an actual therapist on, a reputable therapist, not just any damn body. To talk about life, to talk about the individual and then becoming a unit because those are two different things.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's good and bad with everything, but I do feel like people are tired.
Yeah, and like you said, I think now that even more so people are looking for escapism and they're looking for realism. Because you have the people who are like, I love watching things like Bridgerton, where it is fantasy, it is romantic, it is longing, it's all the things that you want, but you also know, okay, that's my escapism. But then when I'm watching reality TV, I would like to see instances and scenarios that actually are happening, and like you said, people are actually working these problems out, and having the difficult conversations. Because one thing that Kayla and I say when we're watching Love is Blind is that people aren't having necessary conversations for you to determine if this is my person.
Yes.
By asking you, oh, well, what's your favorite color? Oh, yeah, I like sports too. That's so very surface level. But to really sit down and say, like you said, do you want to start a family? What does that look like for you? How were you raised? What does love look like for you? What type of discipline do you believe in? Like, how do we figure this out to see if we're actually in tune and if this is going to last? Because we all know the honeymoon phase is great.
Yes, until it's over. Over.
I've had some of the best honeymoon stages with some of the guys that I've dated. And then when that shit fizzles, it's like,
I say yes to this.
Exactly. And that's oftentimes what people are experiencing on these shows where now the thrill is gone. The dust is settling. It's like, I don't even like this person
at all. And I think it's so interesting that you bring that up because with that being said, those type of conversations are important because how do you navigate a relationship from that space?
Right.
Every relationship goes through a space where I don't like you. I'm so sick of you. And it may not be to that extent, right? Because I'm a little dramatic. I am. Anyway, but how do you navigate relationships when you get to that point? Well, you're not dramatic.
Yes, you are.
I don't like her. She bothers me. I lied.
But that is a good point.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why, like, even with Married at First Sight, I did appreciate the show because they did have actual therapists on there. Now not to say that people were taking the advice. And then we also have to take into consideration production because production is messy.
That's right.
Because it's all about ratings and we want people to tune in and watch. But I think what they're also missing the mark is, like you said, relatability.
Yeah.
I would much rather see a couple genuinely work through things.
Thank you.
You know, because it's not going to be, you know, rainbows and lollipops all the time, but to see them actually work through realistic problems and go through therapy together, you know, oh, let's navigate me having a child, you not having a child, now I'm inserting you in my life to meet my child.
Yes.
I would love to see that on TV.
Yes, or the fact of how you have a big family, I have a big family, but I'm not close to my family.
Right.
What does that look like for me?
Right.
How do we navigate stuff together? And also not just therapy as a unit, but therapy as an individual, because I think sometimes we forget about that. Before you can become one, you have to do some work on yourself. You're inviting someone into your space, into your life. So how do you do that from a space where you are healthy or healthier? Like, so back to your original question. Yes, I feel like we're over it or getting over it. Or a matter of fact, maybe you want something different. Maybe that's going to make it better.
The other thing that we have to discuss also is dating burnout.
Ooh,
and why women are opting out of dating. Like, this is a very real thing where women are just saying, you know what? I think I'm done here.
Okay.
I'm fine. I'm finding peace in being by myself. I'm finding peace in my community. I'm finding peace in hobbies. And now I don't know what dating looks like for me because it's now become something that is not necessary.
Yeah, and I think it's a good thing, because if that's what you want, then that's what you want. You should do exactly that. But I think it speaks to how tired we are. Back to we were just laughing about. We're tired, and so much goes into starting a relationship and maintaining a relationship. So when you're navigating people who are just all over the place, for lack of better words, it's like, you know what, I'm tired. Because how many times do I have to keep navigating the same thing? Or can someone say, you know what, maybe it's you. Okay, well, I'll tweak these things about me. Still the same motherfucker? You know what? Give me a cat. Give me a cat.
Let me go on about my life.
Yes, because I just can't. But I do understand that sometimes one of those moments where, you know what, you need to reset. Because I feel like there's so much going on right now that as an individual trying to date and invite people into space, it's just too much. It's just too much, especially when you have an individual who is not ready. They're not ready. A lot of people are dating from what they feel, and which is not a bad thing. But if your decisions are led by what you feel, you're going to find yourself in all types of stuff.
Oh, child.
And I feel like that happens a lot. And I can't say that now because I got somebody.
Hey, Teddy Graham.
That's not me. But anyway, prior to her. Those are things that I was talking about. You know, we've had these conversations so many times. And the fun thing about me and Kim is like, I'm a lesbian, she is not. So we talk about that. It's so crazy. Like, it's the same stuff. Like, when people think, oh, it's men and women. And in between, it's people. It is a people situation. So yes, it got to the point where I was like, you know what? I don't want to be bothered with nobody. Look, we can fuck, we can go over here, we can have the fun, go away after. Because at this point now, I don't have the energy to take and navigate all the emotions that come into it, because I myself was finding that I'm navigating a lot of people who are not emotionally mature, who are not mentally mature. And it's a lot to try to guide someone while you're still trying to get to know them.
Right.
But I'm just like, at that point, I was like, no, I don't care. I don't want to do this no more.
And I think it's okay.
Absolutely.
I think it's okay. Because I feel like whenever women are doing something that isn't of the norm, and even on both sides, because there may be guys that are like, I'm tired, I don't want to date anymore.
Oh, because there's some toxic women out here do not be fooled, y'all.
My homeboy, the stories that I hear, which we'll actually get to that later.
Okay.
But the stories that I hear that he tells me, I'm like, oh God, this is what you're dealing with?
Oh.
You know? But it's okay to say, I don't want to do this right now. Because like you said, there is a lot going on.
Yes.
There's a lot that's happening to us currently, whether we want to pay attention to it or not.
Yes.
Everything is expensive. You know, the cost of living is literally like on our necks every 2.5 seconds.
Dating somebody?
Yes. And then our mental isn't necessarily where we would like it to be.
Yes.
Like, I get not wanting to make dating in the forefront because, like you said, it's a lot to navigate.
Yes.
So, there's no judgment over here. You know where I am right now. I'm kind of in that world of like, I don't want to date, and I'm okay. Yeah, like I'm totally okay. And then, to be fair, my friends make it hard to want to date.
Listen,
because y'all spoil the hell out of me.
Hello, you come over here. You gotta know. Boom. Cool, I don't play about them.
Like,
Kind of thing.
Does your friend do the things that my friends do? Like, does your man do the things that my friends do? Like, it's going to be so hard. And I think even as a community for my single friends, I look at it the same way. We are making it hard for them because we're constantly doing things because it's out of love, it's out of respect, it's out of seeing you, it's out of hearing you, and it's out of longevity. Like, we've known each other for some time, so we know the things that you like, and people are missing that step when it comes to dating.
Yeah, and I think also too, with this piggybacking a little bit, when you said about being comfortable now in this space, unfortunately for a lot of us, I'll say our age bracket, so much of love has been a part of a lifestyle.
Yes.
And we've been taught that love is a part of the lifestyle of what success looks like. So it's one of those things where now it's like, I don't have it to give. And you know what? I'm going to find it in community. And some of those things, of course, women specifically, we are always going to find community within one another, which is that is absolutely true. But now we're also navigating community in a way of not just survival, but to understand what it means to be healthy.
Yes.
And to feel love.
Yes.
And to be comforted. And there's nothing else expected of that besides the fact that I just exist.
Yes.
And unfortunately, a lot of that has been taken away from dating. So yes, I'm gonna find it in my friend because I know for a fact I don't have to do anything to get this here. There's no performance required. I can show up in my goddamn pajamas. Tampa. I'm gonna hold on to that one. I got a grudge right now.
You hold on to
yes. Tight girl. I can show up in my pajamas. And my girl gonna fix me a drink. She gonna tell me I'm pretty. And we're going to sit down, we're going to eat and talk shit.
And laugh and have a good time. And like you said, there's no pressure of having to do anything.
Nothing at all.
So I get it. Ladies, I get it. Guys, I get it. So do not let anyone make you feel like there's anything wrong with you. You're just falling in love with yourself. And I think that's okay.
And that's a beautiful thing because when that person does come along, because I am, to some extent, I'm a hopeless romantic. I believe there is somebody for everybody. I do not believe you just end up by yourself. I don't. Now, if that's your choice, right, well, guess what? You have found your soulmate there.
Hello.
And that's okay. And that's okay. But like I said, while in the midst of you're like, you know what? I ain't taking a break. I am burned out. Great. Take and do just that. But I also wonder too. I also wonder how much performing that goes into dating. And if that's also something that has so many could get it out. Has so many people exhausted. Yeah. Because there's so much performing that goes in life. I perform on a job. I perform for family. I perform for you. And at what point do I get to just be still?
I'm so glad you said that.
Okay.
Because that just flows so beautifully into our next segment.
God, we just out here flowing.
Girl. Because it's essentially a hot take.
Okay.
And hard truth.
Okay.
So the hot take is, and girl, right on the nose, has being strong at work cost us softness at home?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I say that because as a society, we don't do a good job of separating work and life.
Absolutely.
So because of that, there's no clear distinction of where this ends and this begins.
No argument. No, I don't have a single argument. And it's funny when I came across this, I'm like, I had to think of myself where, like you said, my work days are slowly starting to blend into my personal time. And like you said, there's no separation. And I see myself like this. And oftentimes, thank God for community where, Kayla will sometimes have to say like, girl, stop. Stop, get off the computer. You've done enough. Stop clicking and clacking. Because it's always like, just one more thing. Just one more thing. Just one more thing. Just one more thing. But then as you see, time is slowly taken away from you. And then now your mood is messed up because you're irritated, you're angry, you're over it. Like you're cussing out your coworkers. And it's Saturday. Saturday. This is your time. This is your time. And you're using it, spending it at work.
At the damn job.
And I never thought that would be an issue because I do sometimes see myself where, because I'm hard at work, I find myself sometimes being hard at home until community makes you be like, okay, girl, What's going on?
Yes.
Like,
sit down.
Yeah, simmer down. Why are we still being G.I. Joe? Like, you are not She-Hulk.
Yes.
But sometimes you don't know when to stop that because, like you said, work is starting to bleed so much into our everyday that it's like, okay, this is what I'm used to. Like, my body is used to being in flight or flight mode.
Yes. And then also another thing to add to that too, whenever your personal life, it's so much like work, again, it's hard to have a distinct, clear understanding of what is a separation, especially if you are a parent, right? So much of your life requires you to be present for your child because they need everything. So I go from one job to another.
Yes, ma'am.
So again, how do you separate what it means to be soft in this particular space when, again, I left one job and going to another?
Exactly.
Or when your relationship feels like work also.
Exactly.
So I don't know what it means to turn off because I don't get to turn off.
Exactly. And I think, like you said, having community helps with that because we'll call each other out.
Yes.
You know, on that. And I'm grateful to have community that will say, girl, stop. Like, stop. It's okay. Because oftentimes you do feel guilty. And it's funny because I'm really active on Threads. Like, if y'all aren't on Threads, I love Threads. Threads are for the people who were in the classroom that would be so happy to stand up and read aloud. That's who Threads is for, because I'm like, I'm not overstimulated. There's no noise. There's no people yelling at me in cars. Like, I'm reading and I'm like, first of all, Black people are hilarious.
Yes, we are.
And then two, there's so much relatability. And there's not a lot of celebrity influence in it or influence culture. So I love it. But anyway, I made a post about how my job thought it was okay to send me messages and text messages when I took 2 weeks of PTO time off. And people were literally like, well, I don't see the problem. You don't? This is PTO. I'm taking my time. I specifically said I wanted time off from work so I can be soft, so I can separate, so I can relax. And then now getting a notification from you makes me go from this to this. You know, so then now I'm right back in the state of feeling like, oh, well, I got to do because, you know, if I don't overperform, am I still going to have a job? You know, and being as though like, okay, well, this is a company phone. Do I have to answer it?
Yes.
I don't want to be that way
anymore. And you shouldn't have to.
And it's sad that most people think that that's okay. So that was a hot take, which I think that we both agreed on, that, you know, work doesn't allow you to be soft. Like it's creating a harder version of you. Now, the hard truth is that we are oftentimes taught how to survive, especially Black women in corporate. We're taught how to survive and we're not taught strategy.
Absolutely not. Because so much of our life, unfortunately, on down to let's just head back a little bit. Just in slavery, everything about us has been to survive, and each moment has been passed down from generation to generation. So now it's not just a way of being; it's just who we are,
right?
And with that being said, that we're going to have to reprogram. It's not even an unlearning; it's a whole reprogramming that needs to happen,
right?
So yes, I agree, 100%. We've not been taught strategy,
And even being in these corporate spaces and seeing how people move, where it's not about your work ethic. It's about how well you're liked.
That part.
You know, and then
that bothers me so much. Like, why do I have to like you to get my job done? Oh my God. I'm so sick of forced friendships on jobs. Like,
that is a show in itself.
Oh my God. If I could just go to work and not have to talk to nobody, y'all don't understand how much I would do my job a lot better.
But that makes people uncomfortable. And when I say people, not us. That makes people in corporate uncomfortable when you are in a space of not wanting to be bothered. Because it's like, well, I don't know you. I don't know what you're thinking. And it makes me uncomfortable because I don't feel like, you know, I have anything over you. So that's why the oversharing and the team building and doing all this stuff, because I need to know how you think, how you move, what you do, so I can make my decisions based off of your predictability. You know, and I hate that, but that's unfortunately a corporate game that most people have to play that we were not taught at all, because we were always told, work hard, work hard. You have to learn how to work hard and then you'll be rewarded. And then when we get into corporate, you see that completely
doesn't fit any damn thing.
Untrue, and it warps your way of thinking because you're like, well, I'm working hard. Why am I not being rewarded for this?
Yes, and now I have to sit and unlearn what I've been taught and relearn everything in such a very fast pace. And now I'm looked at where it's okay, now I have to perform.
Yes.
And we're back to
Yes.
performing. And I'm performing for this person this way, this coworker that way, that boss this way. And now I don't know whether I'm coming or I'm going. Because the minute I blink wrong to my coworker, you're going to go tell said boss.
Yep.
And now I'm looking at both of you like, okay, what do I do?
Exactly.
So yeah, no.
And like you said, because we don't know strategy, immediately we then go into either the defense or, you know, we, like you said, we become a recluse. And either way, we don't win. Because either you're looked at as aggressive and angry, or you're looked at as quiet and, you know, you don't want to participate in what we're doing. When really you're just trying to self-preserve. And the one thing that I found funny, and this constantly replays in my head, that my boss told me. She told me, you're an enigma. And I'm like, well, what do you mean by that? Because she was like, I don't quite know what you're thinking. And she was like, you're loud, but you're quiet. And I'm like, to me, what you're saying is that I'm just not telling enough of my business for you to know who I am, you know, but I have been in corporate America for so long. Now I'm learning how to play the game. But the one thing that they don't tell you is that this stuff is taxing. And it weighs you down mentally because you know the game. You're playing the game, but you're tired because it is performative and it's exhausting. And you have to be like, well, I got to stay in my boss's back pocket. But then you also are like, look, I'm militant as hell and I'm going to fuck about this job for you. You know, so your mind is constantly going between two different worlds and no one understands that isn't us, how that feels because every day it just seems like those worlds are colliding and going like this.
Just crashing.
Yes.
And then you say, I want 2 weeks off so I can take and replenish. And you're constantly texting me and you're sending emails and you're consistently bombarding my space when all I asked you for were 2 weeks and I've given you every other moment of my life.
I've given you 50 weeks of my life.
All I wanted was 2 weeks. Yeah.
And it sucks because we're taught to, you know, work twice as hard. You become the most important person at work. And then this is what you're rewarded with. More work, more responsibility. And the fact that people don't know how to function without calling and talking to you.
And that's the craziest thing, because what were you going to do if I were not here? What happened to problem solving? What happened to that as a skill? That used to be a skill. A matter of fact, on everybody's fucking resume, 30 and up. Problem solving. Great communicator. You know, let's utilize that. I'm just saying.
On LinkedIn. Problem solving.
Yes. Nothing else. I problem solve. Solution focus. That's all right. What happened to that?
Girl, that was like the number one.
Listen. Skill. That's number one first. Name, problem solve. Solution focus. Great communicator.
Now it's all about how well are you liked.
Yes.
And we are going to have a
when
show.
When did influencer culture come into work life? Like, why? It doesn't matter. Oh my God. Like, it's so crazy.
When I tell you we are going to have a complete separate show about corporate and LinkedIn, because we need time on LinkedIn. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it today, but I'm going to tell you, y'all, one day how much I cannot stand LinkedIn.
We're going to have a chat about it. We're going to bring it back. We're going to bring it back.
But anyway, we're going to lighten the mood a little bit.
Yes.
And we have 2 different scenarios.
Okay.
People are asking for our advice.
Okay.
So the first one, we have someone who wrote in a letter.
Oh, thank you. They
want to know who's wrong in this situation.
Oh, shit. Well, thanks for sharing. We appreciate your honesty and sharing with us. But all right.
I'm going to pull up the letter.
Okay.
I'm going to read it. And of course, we want you guys to go ahead and weigh in and let us know who you think is wrong here. But the title of the letter is called, Am I Wrong for Soft Launching Him?
Oh.
So it says, Hey, Kim and Kia. Okay, please don't judge. I've been dating this man for 5 months. I'm 34. He's 36. We have seen each other multiple times a week. He met my friends. We've had the exclusivity conversation and agreed we're not seeing other people.
Okay.
So in my mind, this is a relationship.
Oh.
Now, here's the thing. He does not post me at all. And before y'all say I'm being childish, hear me out. He posts everything else, gym selfies, business wins, his friends, etc. One night I jokingly asked, am I ever going to make it to the grid? And he laughed and said he keeps his private life private because social media ruins things. Okay. And that's what she says. Okay, cool. I let it go. But then 2 weeks later, He posts this long birthday tribute to his female best friend.
Okay.
Multiple pictures, heart emojis, paragraphs about how special she is.
Okay.
I'm not insecure.
Okay.
But I definitely felt something. So last weekend, I posted a soft launch, just a dinner pic, 2 glasses, his arm across the table. Caption said, soft, intentional, and aligned. The next day, he calls me irritated. He says, girl, he was pissed. Woo! He says, damn, why would you post me without asking? I told you to keep things private. I love when y'all put quotations.
Yes.
Yes.
A moment.
Yes. I told him, you don't keep everything private. You just keep me private. Huh. She didn't say huh. I just added that in there.
Yeah.
Impromptu. He said, I was making it about social media and I was being immature. But to me, it's not about Instagram. It's about feeling hidden. Now we haven't spoken in 2 days. So tell me, am I wrong for soft launching him? Or is he wrong? Or are we both tripping? Ooh, child.
Oh, okay. I'm processed for a little bit because that's a lot to unpack. That's a lot to unpack. And I'm first going to say I think that we have to understand exclusivity and the relationship are 2 different things. Because I can be exclusively dating you doesn't mean that I'm here for the long haul.
Right.
You could be here. I could just be here with you right now.
Okay. Fair enough.
So I think when we have clearer communication, there's less misunderstanding. Hurt feelings, absolutely. Those can arise at any moment. But lack of, I'll say lack of misunderstandings. Now, as far as her, is she wrong for launching him? I feel like she did it to be petty. So yeah, she was wrong. But try to prove a point.
She did.
And they got your feelings hurt.
Got you, bitch.
Cause listen, you think you might get petty queen and somebody be like, okay, how about this? And see, now look at you. Now you got the ass face. Yes. Booty hole lips. And he said, how about this?
He did a Uno reversal.
Yes, 2 times. It's your phone. So yeah, I think she was wrong because 1, the intentions were wrong. You had ill intentions when you posted this.
Okay.
And so it backfired in ways that you weren't expecting because you didn't sit down and prepare for that. Like you didn't think it through. Like, okay, if I do this, how could he respond? Now, how would he respond? How could he respond? Because he couldn't be like, oh, babe, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. Or could have did what he did. Either way, you didn't prepare yourself for either scenario.
No.
So that's that. And then on top of that, him posting himself at the gym or friends or family, he was doing all that before you came along. So it's not necessary that he's not private. That's his norm. Even the post of his best friend with the heart emojis and the female, his female best friend with the long message. Again, that is his norm. What about that is abnormal for this gentleman? So the fact that you aren't getting the recognition that you feel like you deserve, and that's fair. But communicated with him differently instead of, oh, do you post? You can say, how about this? You know what? I really like for my person to post me on social media because I like this type of validation. Why don't we communicate like that?
Because we often think that people should know. And that's not fair.
No, I don't know shit. I had to tell babe, listen, I say, you expecting something out of me? Don't do it. Don't test me like that. I'm going to fail every fucking time. I will straight F. Boom. Because I'm not that kind of person.
Right.
I'm very vocal about how I am. But if you come to me a certain way, I promise you, I'm going to be there and support and show up in the ways that you're asking. But if you just going to do something like, I'm going to see what she going to do. Tyranikia will not. I'm not. Even as friends, like him. Don't be like, oh, my birthday coming up. What am I going to say? What do you want? I'm not that person that's going to be like, oh, I'm going to buy. No. What do you want?
I mean, you still do good with surprises.
I mean, yeah, because I know certain stuff about you, but you be like, I'm going to see if she going to buy da-da-da. Show the fuck ain't.
That's right.
Show ain't. Because I asked you what you want. Oh, you ain't say nothing? Well, you ain't want nothing. Dinner it is.
Which I don't think people understand how much of a blessing it is to have someone who's literal and will tell you, okay, this is what it is.
That's all I got.
I think, like you said, number one, you have to define what exclusive and relationship are, because I agree that's not the same. Until a man specifically comes to you and says, I want to be in a relationship with you.
Y'all
and I
not together.
Don't ever make that assumption. Ever. And that goes for both sides. For men too. Don't ever make the assumption that that woman is your woman if you never actually had the conversation.
Thank you.
You know, so for you to expect him to post you, what is that? What do you want from this? Like you said, are you wanting some sort of validation? Like, are you wanting him to essentially say like, oh, you're mine? If that isn't his norm, because like you said, like, why would I do that
at all? Like, you're comparing yourself to my best friend, comparing yourself to my family, when those relationships are completely different.
And that's my best friend.
You
know, so you can't sit here and say like, oh my gosh, well, why did you post her? You're looking at it as because she's a female. Now, if this was a male, would you do the same thing?
Yeah, that's a good point. I ain't thinking about that.
So because it's a female best friend, you're up in arms. I can't believe you posted her. That's my friend.
Listen, girl, and if you go, she's still gonna be here.
Exactly.
So we can't do that. But again, if you're looking for that type of validation, you need to communicate that. And again, beginning of relationships, what does it look like to show you love? How do you like to be shown? How do you like to be presented to the world with your person? That's something you have to tell him, because if he doesn't know that, he's gonna move about space as he does, because you asked him the question. I feel like he was honest.
Yeah.
He gave her a genuine response. I'm really private. Social media ruins things, and he's not lying.
He's not. Because the next thing you know, them girls are going to be looking you up. They're going to be on your page trying to find out who you are. Don't. No.
And not even just that. The fact that people you don't even know now have access to your relationship.
Exactly.
Like, once you put something online, it no longer belongs to you.
And let me tell you something. I'm a nosy investor bitch.
Yes,
once you sit here and post that you're in a relationship, and then I see that this ain't a thing no more, I want to know what happened.
Yes.
What happened? You can't leave us on a cliffhanger. Like, what's happening?
Because now you gotta slowly delete pictures and shit. Like, nobody gonna notice. Like,
that's so embarrassing.
Because you can't delete all 80 pictures at once. I'm like, well, damn, they died.
Fucking Instagram.
Yeah. Got like 2 pictures a day.
Showing you fail.
Like, yes. Fuck you. Like, you got like 2 pictures a day. Right. Like, no, it's too much. Like, to your point, now I had to send talk to you in my community, not community, but in the online community, like, okay, well, this is what happened, or you gonna have questions, or people gonna like, no, like,
what happened to Robert?
Yes. None of your damn business, first of all.
Right. Then now we getting cussed out.
Yes.
I don't know why y'all thought it was any of your business, because you
made it. Exactly. So like I said, again, once you put something online, it no longer belongs to you. And you don't have any right to what people do with that information, because now it's shared. So to his point, he's proud, because I don't want everyone to know what it is that we're doing. Like, to your point, if you hadn't said me and baby all over the place, nobody would ever know. Because when do I post that? Never. No. But the people
see a damn rainbow. I was like, what the fuck is she at? I'm trying to make it expand. I'm sorry. Ain't no rainbow in Raleigh. Girl, 30 degrees in storm.
And here I am in sunny.
Bitch, that don't look like Wilmington water.
Sure like. And I'm just so like, yeah. But again, I feel like a lot, but even prior to this relationship, but me and my partner before this relationship, we didn't post each other online either. Well, I wasn't post each other a lot online. Right. And even when it's so funny, but me and baby had that conversation like, do you like this? Like, anytime I'm going to post something where there's her hand or she's dancing, like anything that she's doing, if I'm doing, even if the picture is just me, but if she happen to be in it, I'm going to say, hey, are you okay if I post this? Because it's not just the fact of people knowing who I am and what I got going on. But back to your point about corporate America, if you work in corporate America, if you're a business owner, there's a certain way you have to represent yourself online. Absolutely. So if I'm over here pussy popping and you just haven't been a back like this, even though you're not bent over hands to toes, but you're in this picture, and now the conversation has to be had with you about what you were doing in your private time, when I wouldn't have to worry about that if I wasn't on social media.
Exactly.
So I think, yes, back again, I think she was dead wrong for launching him. Right? She want to call it soft launch, whatever you want to do it, girl. You was dead wrong because you were petty when you did it. So your intentions weren't in it in the right way. And then secondly, you did not consider him in that moment. The only thing you wanted to be validated.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not fair because that's not how healthy relationships
exactly
are going to sustain.
Yeah. And like you said, this is new. This is beginning. Now, if y'all have been in a relationship for some time
Mm-hmm.
and this man get pissed off, it's like, no, wait a minute. This is some red flags. Why you mad? Everybody know we together.
That, right?
What's going on?
Where your wife at?
Yeah, like this shouldn't be something that should be alarming. But like you said, this is the initial stages.
Mm-hmm.
You guys only decided to be exclusive.
Yeah.
You're not in a relationship. You cannot compare a best friend to you guys being together for how she said 5 months, which is nothing.
Oh, girl, y'all are fresh. He don't even know if he like you for real. He stood up, met your rep. He didn't even met you for real. On his side, I'd have been mad too. Mm-hmm. That's a good way to be blocked.
So I think we both are agreeing.
Oh,
you
yeah.
were wrong.
They're wrong, friend.
You were wrong. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, friend.
Mm-mm.
Yikes. But this brings me to our final segment.
Okay.
And this one is just asking, some advice.
Okay.
Outside of who was right or wrong here.
Okay.
But a little bit more in depth.
Okay.
So this question actually came from a male friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And, he was telling me about his experience when it came to dating.
Ooh.
And he said, I would like to know, according to women, what is a spark? What are women looking for on the first dates?
That's a loaded question. And I feel like that's going to be a little challenging to answer because everyone requires so many different things. So I'll ask this to you then. Can you tell me some of the things that he's experiencing while going on dates before I answer that?
So I think what his issue is that he's afraid to be himself.
What does that mean?
Meaning, like, if he shows too much of himself, then the woman won't necessarily like who he is or like him, or they just essentially say, well, I don't feel anything with, this interaction. Like, I'm not getting the butterflies and, I'm not feeling giddy. Like, I'm not getting that. I don't feel a spark. So that's why he's like, well, what needs to happen in order for you to feel a spark? What is a spark?
Right. So my question to him would be, what are the interactions prior to let's go on this date? Because sparks are already flying prior to me saying, yes, let's go on this date. Are y'all talking for a day or two? Are y'all talking for a week where you're laughing, you're sharing jokes? Does she have bad dad jokes or do you have weird, saying like, what is the interaction prior to the date? Because I think that is a telltale to why she's not feeling the spark, because one, she said yes to something that she wasn't even aware of.
Right.
And then two, you're also engaging people where you're not aligned. So how are you dating? The second part, are you dating for looks? Are you dating for interaction? Are you dating for sex? Like, how are you dating?
These are all valid questions.
So that's why I said I can't give a solid answer because, like I said, it's a loaded question. There's so much that goes into it. So for him, I will say this. I will offer this. I will offer being mindful of how the longevity of your interaction with the person before you invite them on a date.
There we go.
And I will say do that because that gives you time because if your anxiety is showing up too much as yourself, then give yourself some longevity so you can show up in pieces. So that way that person can either say, yeah, let's continue, or you know what, no, this is not for me. So I would offer that. And then secondly, I would also offer you, sir, to figure out how you're dating and how you're dating. Again, you're dating for looks, sex, interaction, whatever that is, but figure that out. Because with that being said, what you're looking for, if you're not getting it, you shouldn't have those expectations.
Right.
So you have to set whatever expectations that you have and make sure you vocalize them to some extent. So you're not feeling like your expectations aren't being met, or this person expressing that their expectations aren't being met when y'all out on a date.
I agree with all of that.
Okay.
I do. I agree with all of that. And because I know this person, and I don't want to put all their business out there, because I feel like it's one of those things where you need to come on to the show and, like you said, let's explain a little bit more. But the one thing I will say to, and I have had to say to him is, I need people to take time to talk more.
Yes.
You know,
I love the talking stage.
Yes.
Listen, if you can talk to me, my whole coochie is just gushing. Like, just, and I'm talking about not just talk just to be talking. I mean, like, thoughtful stuff that make me sit back and be like, damn, let me rethink this. Like,
and that right there is a spark. You know, and I think we have to define what spark is.
Yes.
You know, because to me, I don't think there is spark. I think there's interest. You know, where you, like you said, we are having such good conversation. Yes. We're aligning in so many ways. I mean, you know, the biggest thing for me is laugh. If you can make me laugh, you got me. Coochie, you know. But when you're hitting those check marks through conversation, then that allows for interest, because I'm even more interested in you. To me, when people say spark, it's almost like you're romanticizing potential. Yes.
Oh, you know, that's a scary place to be in with dating.
Oh my gosh, because you're thinking of a life with this person. This person has no idea what's going on in your head. So the last thing you want to do is already jump, you know, 15 steps ahead, and they're still on step 1. Yeah. You know, so I think that's the biggest thing. Like, don't look at it as spark. Just enjoy the moment, enjoy the person, and see where it goes. Like, just talk, and don't be so quick to go on dates. Like, I know the guys, when I was dating, I got on their nerves because I was like, I'm not going on a date with you.
I don't know you.
I don't know you. And then I don't know if I want to spend my time with someone that I don't know or am interested in.
You know what I could be doing at this time?
You know, let's just talk. Let's have conversations. And like I've, you know, told my friend, I said, I don't do coffee dates.
Yes.
I'm not doing that.
Okay.
You know, once we finally
wait, why don't we do coffee dates?
I don't do coffee dates because I would rather talk on the phone.
Oh,
you know, I'm not meeting you for I can go and get coffee anytime.
That's fair.
You know, but that's not considered a date. And then you're doing that to try to sit here and figure out who I am. We can do that on the phone.
I understand.
You know, like, don't waste my time.
That's fair.
If we're going to do a date, let's do a date.
That's fair.
You know, so when you come this way, that's an automatic no. Do not ask me to do a coffee date. Let's just talk on the phone, because there's a lot
conversation too. What is considered a date and not a date?
Girl,
that's a good topic.
That, you know what? We can make that our next show.
Yeah, we'll put that on
make that our next show. But to, you know, our friend of the show, I will say that, like I said, don't focus so much on the spark. Just focus on getting to know each other, and then be patient. Take time, be in that moment. Do not fall in love with potential. And I know it's hard because you see this person and you're like, oh, the things that we can do together. We're on hot air balloon rides. We're on flying magic carpets, and we're on a wild safari. No.
Write it down in a book, friend, and experience it that way.
And call it a day, you know, but do not hurt your own feelings, and then never ever be afraid to show up in spaces being authentically you, because people appreciate that.
And that's something else I was getting ready to ask too. Why are we in space of you're dating someone, then you're dating for them to enjoy who you are as you are. So if you're being told by someone that if you're being told, if you feel like you can't show up as your authentic self, then there's a problem, because that also kind of speaks to how you're feeling about yourself. And then that means it's not the other person. This is more internal.
Exactly.
So it sounds like there's also some work that needs to be done in that space too.
And it's fair. It happens. You know,
we all get there.
We all get there. We all have to learn. It's the ebb and flow of just, you know, getting older in the dating life and learning yourself. You know, it happens.
Yes, absolutely.
But just be mindful.
Yes. And enjoy dating, because it should be fun.
It should be fun.
Yes.
And people are missing the mark with that.
Yeah, girl.
They are completely missing the mark with that, because the expectations are through the roof. So, but that is for another day. Yes. What I will say, we can go on forever about that. Like, what? Oh my gosh. What I will say is, I'm appreciative of you.
Oh, well, thank you
for deciding to do this with me, because you did not have to. Of course. Like, bitch, I don't give a damn about you or that den.
Yes. All the divas.
Go to hell. Yes. So I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I do.
Yes.
And I'm excited for what this chapter holds, because there's going to be a lot of fabulous conversation.
Yes, y'all.
And the men out there, I know y'all watched this show, because as soon as I posted it, they were like, "You back? We back." And we invite you to also come in this space.
Please.
Do not think just because it is woman-centered that you cannot be invited in, because I do like to hear both perspectives.
Absolutely.
The door is open just as long as you don't come into foolishness.
That's the part.
And I want you guys to know that this is a space for us to have fun.
Oh, I love that.
To have, great conversation, realistic conversations, to let our hair down and not, like you said, be performative. So with that,
let's turn off. Everybody turn off.
Any closing words before I close it out?
Closing words. Let's see. Be present and reset.
I know that's right.
Just be present and reset. I think that's what I'm gonna close this episode with.
I know that's right. Well, friends, I'm gonna leave you with this. Text your homegirl. Drink your water. Mind your business.
Yes.
And check on your spirit before you do anything for anybody else. Okay. So we'll be right back, right here in the den. And I appreciate y'all so much. See you next time.
Bye, y'all.